Hey guys, welcome back. It's Pep and I'm the Sentinel. Today's video, something that I've been thinking about for a while. It is going to be my 10 favorite fragrances for the warmer weather. So here it's mid-February in Australia, and as we all should know, in the southern hemisphere, this is summer, at the peak of summer, and so I've had a good, since it starts getting pretty warm in December where I live, and I've had a good chance to wear quite a few of fragrances that are more suited to warmer weather. And today I thought I'd share with you the 10 that I've loved wearing for the last few months, and not necessarily my most worn, but ones I've enjoyed the most. So we'll kick it off. I'm very conscious of not making this a very long video, but we'll kick it off with my number 10, and that is my decant of, you won't be able to read that, but that's Amouage's Reflection Man. Okay, so this one here, it's very well known for having a similar vibe to Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male, but from what I remember of Le Male, this is just a level above and higher quality. It's a beautiful scent, and I don't know, it's really difficult to describe. The name is really appropriate for the type of scent it is. It's almost like a glassy metallic feeling when you're wearing this scent, and there's a cooling element to it. It's the things I pick up from it the most. The white florals, the mint, and probably what I'm picking up there is one of the listed notes is pimento. But wearing this, it's definitely a unisex scent, but even though it is Reflection Man, I think this would be great on a woman. But Reflection Man, when you're wearing it, almost has a cooling element to it when wearing it on a warm day. I mean, this would be perfect for a hot summer evening, going out for a special occasion, a beautiful date scent. But I wear this. I've worn this to work. I've worn this out on the weekends, and it's probably suitable to wear probably all year round. But it really is nice in warm spring, early summer days. So that's my number 10, Reflection Man by Amouage. Okay, so moving on to number 9. This is actually my scent of the day today, and it's a pretty new acquisition for me. And I wore this for the first time, and I liked it. But today, this is only the second full wearing of it that I've had, and it's really blown me away. And that's from the House of Bvlgari. This is Aqva Amara. Okay, beautiful bottle, as you can see. This is a citrusy, salty fragrance, and what this reminds me a little bit of is a scent that I was wearing, that I was talking about in one of my other videos, and that's Tom Ford's Mandarino di Amalfi. Except Aqva Amara, because I think of the incense and patchouli that they've got in this, where Mandarino di Amalfi is a lovely scent, but it's quite a thin scent, if that makes any sense. And I find that the Aqva Amara has more weight to it, and like the performance is much better, and it's quite masculine as well, and great on the hot day. So that's Bvlgari's Aqva Amara. Moving on to number 8. No, I don't have my decant of this here, but what warm weather top 10 list could be without Creed's Virgin Island water? This was the kind of scent, fragrance when I first heard about it, and I heard about what the notes were and what the descriptions of what it smelt like was going to be a blind buy for me, and the fact that you know probably the best of that type of fragrance, and I got a decant of it, and I love wearing it. I mean, some people don't like wearing it because they don't want to smell like a cocktail, but I love the lime. I particularly love the coconut, touch of rum for me, and I get a bit of the musk in the dry down, but the performance, I'm lucky if it lasts 3 hours on my skin. It's a pretty expensive fragrance to have to reapply, but these fragrances are in my top 10 because I love the way they smell. If I was going to do a top 10 and take into account the performance and the sillage, and it might be a different story, but Virgin Island water, hot summer day, hot summer night, how could you go wrong? Okay, now my number 7 is actually an Australian house. It's virtually unknown outside of Australia, and it's probably not that known in Australia. At the moment, they only sell online, and there's one retail outlet I can think of in Sydney that sells these bottles. They have 4 fragrances in their line. I was lucky enough to try one in that store, and I bought a few samples, which I've decanted into a little sprayer. Now the house is Goldfield and Banks. I'll leave details below. Website. I understand that they don't ship internationally at the moment, but there might be a couple of eBay sellers that do, and there's also other online retailers. So I'll leave those links down below if anyone is interested. So they've got 4 fragrances in their line, and this one here is called Pacific Rock Moss. It's a Pacific Rock Moss is a marine, so it's more of an oceanic kind of scent. There's a bit of citrus in there. It's actually very woody, and I can't really think of anything that it reminds me of. Excuse me, but some of the ingredients that they've listed here is actual Australian coastal moss, Italian lemon, French sage, Egyptian geranium, and cedarwood. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what that smells like. But I really like this fragrance. And there's another one in their line which I really like. It's not part of this list, but if you have a look at the website, you'll be able to see what's available there. They're not cheap, but it's well worth trying to get your hands on a sample to see if you like it. So that's Pacific Rock Moss. Okay, my number 6 fragrance, which I was wearing this morning until I changed over. This is a classic by Chanel, and that's Allure Homme Edition Blanche. There you go, that's probably better. This is the EDP version, and not much to say about this. Lemon, creamy lemon, vanilla. So overall, gives you the vibe of something like a sweet lemon meringue pie. Probably not going into the gourmand territory, but it's very refreshing and very masculine scent. And as with I've found with Chanel fragrances, they certainly have a real classic vibe to them. I wish this would last longer on my skin, but yeah, I mean, again, it's a favorite scent, and you have to kind of pick your mood and your time for wearing it. But when I smell it, when I wear it, I have no regrets. It's a lovely, beautiful lemon scent. It's probably one of the best lemon scents going around. But just above that, at number 5, with a lemon note, is my favorite Vetiver scent, and that's another EDP, and that's from the House of Tom Ford, and it's none other than Grey Vetiver. Perfect for work, perfect for wearing with a suit. It's a very easy fragrance, not offensive. It's almost, it could be signature worthy if you wanted the signature scent. It's it's very all round versatile. It's probably the most versatile in this top 10. And what can you say? Pretty. It's a pretty benchmark entry level vetiver, I guess. I haven't got a bottle, but it's it's always mentioned when along with Guerlain's vetiver and things like that, when people are suggesting vetivers to try out before exploring probably more challenging scents. So that's Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver. Number 4, again, is a classic. I don't have my decant here with me either. It's Creed's Green Irish Tweed. Probably in this list, the one that you can wear all year round. I love it, particularly in the spring, and it's really just because it reminds me of spring. So it's that greenness, the lemon verbena. You do. I always get the feeling of what I mean. It's what it was supposed to invoke when it was created. But walking through a field, probably just after it's finished raining, sun's out, and you just get that greenness. It dries the dry down for me on my skin. This green Irish tweed is beautiful. It develops into this musky dry down, and this has gotten me some really. This has actually got one of the few in my collection that's gotten me completely unsolicited comments. Person, a girl from a couple of meters away, told me I smelled nice, and this was after 7 hours of having it on me. So even though I'd stopped smelling it by that stage, it was still projecting pretty well. And that's not very many sprays, probably 4 sprays. So that, what more can be said about Green Irish Tweed that hasn't been said? It's a legend. It's iconic. The masterpiece, as far as I'm concerned. Green Irish Tweed by Creed. Number 3 is also a Creed fragrance. And it's the last Creed fragrance in my list. And no, it's not Aventus. This is, if I can find it, my sample of Creed Millesime Imperial. Okay, I love this salty, fruity opening. The classic Creed dry down. No, it doesn't last very long. But the smell of this is worth it. I have Aventus, and I don't want to spend too long talking about it because it's not in my top 10. It's not because I don't like it. I know, it seems to be pretty popular in the community, but I think it's nice. It's okay, but I don't like it more than any of any of these ones that I've been talking about. So, you know, from the creeds, I would always prefer Virgin Island Water, Green Irish Tweed, and Millesime Imperial over the Aventus. The Aventus has its place, but from in my wardrobe, that's not very often. Again, the smell, this smell of Millesime Imperial makes it worth happening. Makes it worth owning, at the very least a sample. If you don't want to invest in a bottle, I'll probably never buy a full bottle because, you know, I'm not I don't have that kind of money to spend on a full bottle, and if I did, I'd be buying other stuff, or more decants and more samples. But yeah, Millesime Imperial is at my number 3 spot. Number 2 is from the House of Byredo, and that is Pulp. Woody, ripe fruit salad. For me, passion fruit is the main player in this scent. It's a reasonably linear scent. Doesn't develop a lot, but to my nose, it's beautiful to where florals come in a little bit later. So it probably does develop a little bit. Florals and wood come in a little bit later, but the fruit is always there, and it's the star of the show. And as long as you don't mind smelling like that, I love smelling like that, and I love smelling it on me. This is this is a gorgeous scent, and it's the best performer from this list. This will last hours and hours on you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the projection is like, but you know, it feels like it's a strong fragrance that people can smell if they get within your vicinity. Byredo Pulp. I will be getting a full bottle of this. My number 1, and the one that I will be getting a full bottle of, and I'm already panicking because half of my decant here is gone, and it's been spoken about as being the same vibe as Creed's Aventus. Not the same, and I agree completely with that. But to my nose, this is superior, and compared to whatever batch of Aventus I have, and this decant, this is a much better performer. The dry down on this is amazing. I get compliments about the opening and the dry down. You know, I don't get a lot of compliments, but I've been complimented when I first spray this on, and hours later when it's, you know, sitting close to my skin. This is Mancera's Cedrat Boise. A while ago, this got quite a bit of hype on YouTube. Fruity, woody, musky. This is blackcurrant. I'll probably get in the opening, but you know, I can understand why people link it to Aventus, but it's unique on its own, I think, and I can easily tell this if I was smelling this on one arm and Aventus on the other, and I much prefer this. It's cheaper. It lasts as long, if not longer. But you know, I don't know. It just doesn't have the legendary. Well, it just doesn't have the mythology around it, I guess. But it's beautiful, and this summer, this is the one I've cherished the most wearing. So that's my top 10. If you have disagree or agree, comment below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe, please. I will leave links to the Goldfield and Banks for the Pacific Rock Moss, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.